Hi! Today I'm using the gorgeous, beautiful friendship stamp set that will have so much color, we only need one layer. My beautiful friendship card is a SIP card. That means we're using just stamps, ink, and paper. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stampin' Smiles, and for 18 years, I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. The beautiful friendship stamp set, well, it's a distinctive stamp set with amazing shading and detail. Here's a closer view of the gorgeous, beautiful friendship stamp set. This is a distinctive stamp set. Distinctive is a patent-pending process Stampin' Up! Has to make stamps to give you this amazing shading and detail. And so for our one-layer card, we're going to use Whisper White thick cardstock. So whenever you're using white cardstock for your stamping, you want to use Whisper White cardstock because it has a smooth, tight finish that gives you crisp, clean images. And whenever you want white for your base, you want the Whisper White thick because you have that same great finish, but it's sturdier. And if you're going to spend the time to make a card, you want to look as good as possible. So I like to stamp on a flat surface, so I'm going to open it up. And then I have my Stampin' Pierce Mat. This gives you a smooth, even stamped image, and it's really good with photopolymer stamps. So we'll start with the Blushing Bride Classic Stampin' Pad. We pick up the lid, slide it in, and a quick swipe on our stamping sleeves because, I don't know, I tend to get ink on my hands opening and closing the pads off of the clear blocks because they aren't porous. So a quick swipe keeps the ink on my stamping sleeves and not smudging my cards. So we'll give this a good inking, and we'll come over here. There we go. And I don't want that quite in the center. I want to be off center a little bit. And stamp. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, we're going to use that in just a minute because the next stamp I want to use is the hydrangea. And I want this right here. Well, if I were to stamp right there, I'd have purple on top. That's not a good look. That's where this technique comes in called masking. Now, at one time, Stampin' Up! For a long time, they had what's called a two-way glue pen. And when you'd put glue on something, let it air dry, it became a non-permanent adhesive. It was great for the masking technique because you want to use paper when you're doing this technique, not cardstock. You want thin paper. Well, the two-way glue pen is gone, so I found this. This is masking paper. And I'll have a link under the video to show you where I got that. And it's nice and thin. So what we need to do is create our mask. So we'll stamp on this masking paper. We'll come down to the corner. We don't need any more than the image, and so we want to save our masking, our paper as much as possible for more projects. And then take your paper snips, and we're going to trim this out by hand. The paper snips are awesome. Easy to hold, but you've got these little points that you can get in where you want. They're only $10. You really want these. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you about this. I'm not going to cut down into all of that because that's all part of the rose. That white space is part of the shading with it, right? So we're going to curve around with it. Imagine where we think the rose would look good, okay? I don't want any hydrangea down in there. Now, this is a separate rose. We will come down here and trim that. And the same thing we would over here, all right? So to save just a bit of time, I have one already cut out for us. Okay, and so we peel off that blue backing, and now we have this temporary adhesive, and we're going to cover what we just stamped or mask it. And that's where we get the name of that technique, the masking technique. So now when we stamp over top, it'll go on the mask and not on our image. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Okay, got it. So the next color we're going to use is the Highland Heather Classic Stampin' Pad. So we're going to pick that up, slide that lid in, quick swipe, and then our hydrangea. Okay, so let's give this a good inking. And we'll come over here and stamp on our rose. Oh, beautiful. Okay, it doesn't look beautiful yet, but it will. it's so much fun to take the mask off. So a little push with your thumb, pull on that lid, click, and don't forget a swipe because we don't want that on here. All right, so next, let's bring back our blushing bride, and we have the small rose that's like this one. We'll come up over in here and stamp. Beautiful, beautiful. And we still have our mask over here. We'll come down in here and add another one. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so now we are done with the blushing bride. So a little push. Click. Listen for that click so you know that it's closed. All right, our next color, Seaside Spray. This is one of the new 2019-2021 in colors. Very pretty. And come over here. And we're still getting some of the masking. They're fantastic. Because see, look at that blue. That wouldn't look good, right? But it won't be on there because we covered it. And then for our leaves, we have soft sea foam. All right. And we've got these right here. Going off the edge a little bit onto that other, but it'll be okay. And another, this leaf has, there are 3 leaves with this stamp. And it's so nice, the masking, because then my images aren't floating, because you'd want to try to get up to it, but they almost look floating. But with a masking technique, you don't have floating images. Okay, so there we go. Now this is the cool part. Are you ready? When you take this off, get up and underneath there. There. So it holds well, but just a temporary hold. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. So just one more thing to do. Let's add a greeting. And when I'm designing, I play around with different colors, and I did basic black and it felt a little bit harsh. So instead I'm going to use a nice deep color, but the early espresso goes really well with that warm pink of the blushing bride. So that up, slide in. Definitely your stamping sleeves. At this point, you sure don't want to mess up. And we have our greeting. So very happy to know you. There we go. Come over here. And in the photopolymer, we can see where we're stamping. Very nice. And there we go. And we have our 1-layer card that is full of color. And don't forget to pick up some Whisper White medium envelopes. They fit these cards perfectly, but you still have a great finish to be able to decorate your envelope, and it all starts with a beautiful envelope, doesn't it? If you'd like to make my beautiful friendship 1-layer card, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And when you place your July 2019 Stampin' Up! Order of $25 or more, I'm going to send you one of my beautiful friendship 1-layer cards. So get on over now to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.